They are the nation's finest.
You know, it was like watching Charlie's Angels. She just took a shooting stance and just started shooting back.
At a time when dedication and sacrifice mean more than ever.
I realized that I'm in downtown Manhattan. It was a gorgeous day, and I'm probably going to die here.
Their stories of courage are just part of their everyday jobs.
It passed through my mind that if this baby's dropped, I was going to go after him.
Each year, the International Association of Chiefs of Police, the IACP, and Parade Magazine honor the men and women of law enforcement. Tonight, Court TV presents their stories on Badge of Courage, Police Officer of the Year. I'm Gordon Clapp. Each week I play Detective Greg Medavoy on NYPD Blue, shot right here on this set at Fox Studios. Tonight we honor 11 nominees chosen by the International Association of Chiefs of Police, IACP, and Parade Magazine. Whether it's heroism in stakeouts, shootouts, investigations, or heart-stopping rescues, each one of these officers has gone beyond the call of duty. After September 11th, we would never again take any of them for granted. On that day, the whole world saw what these everyday heroes are made of. First up, Eric Podzis, a New York State Medicaid fraud investigator and a physician assistant. He carries a badge and a stethoscope. On 9/11, he needed both.
A typical day was September 11th. It was like any other day. Gorgeous day. Got some tea and some toast. Got back to my desk. People are coming into the office. There was a little bit of commotion in the front of the office. One of the investigators was coming in, Hazel Walters.
I was a mess. I was hysterical. Debris all over me, and I just kept saying, all those people, all those people.
She's explaining to us, very emotional, that a plane had just hit the Trade Center.
We looked at each other and we were like, we gotta go. So we went downstairs, ran outside.
Podzis and Siebert run to the street and confront the site of the burning North Tower.
We're looking up at the flames and the smoke, and so all of a sudden we heard the roaring sound of a jet engine coming, and I looked to the left and saw this other jet coming in.
The second plane came in and just folded into the building in this horrendous crushing sound.
Siebert runs back to warn the others in the office, and Eric Podzis is on his own.
As I'm running down, I see ambulances on the next corner, so I decided, let me see what I can do to help. We were trying to get as many people as we could wrapped, strapped, and out of here to whatever hospital could receive them.
A news photographer captures Eric Podzis aiding an injured woman. His watch tells the time, 3 minutes before the first tower collapses.
While I was working on another patient, I heard a sound and I looked up. And as I looked up, I saw the top of two World Trade start to come down on top of us. The top third of the building started to bend forward, and then the entire building started to come down straight. Time started to slow down, and what do? There's people laying all over the corner. The only thing I could do is just try to start to grab people and run them up the block, because there were many, many people here that were not going to make it and get off the corner, so we had to do what we had to do. My only thought was just to get away, trying to get people up and against this building, and ideally to get them up into the alcove where this door recess is, because at least you have some sort of cover from the falling debris. I remember being up against the wall, looking out, and all I saw was a young lady, the back of a young lady, trying to huddle under a chair. I knew she'd be killed instantly when the debris came down. That was absolutely no protection. So I ran up, I grabbed her, I said, I'm a cop, we gotta go now. As I pulled her by her shoulder, everything went black. But I knew there was a wall in front of me somewhere. So with her on my left arm, on our knees, we just kept crawling until I finally hit the wall, and I stayed on the wall. Everything was pitch black, and you couldn't breathe. It was like someone stuck your face into molten sand. And the sound was incredibly loud, where you'd want to tear your eardrums out. It hurt so badly. I realized that I'm in downtown Manhattan. It was a gorgeous day. I can't breathe, and I'm probably going to die here. And I got to take this girl and try to get her to safety somehow, and just keep going. I just kept feeling along the debris, and finally came up to something and it was this gate, and I recognized it was a wrought iron gate because it's the only one down here. Then I realized I'm on the wrought iron gate of a cemetery, so I want to get away from here and take my victims with me because I don't want to be on that side, not yet.
Okay, guys! Podzis leads his group of survivors through the debris to an aid station and continues to help the wounded.
We saw this chairman laying partially slumped over the planter. We managed to get him freed from the debris and got him into an ambulance, took him to NYU Downtown Hospital. Last thing I remember is as we came out of the ambulance, I lost my balance, I became extremely dizzy, and the next thing I knew I was laying on a stretcher in the emergency room. They were putting oxygen on me and starting an IV, and I was just still trying to cough and breathe and figure out where I was and how I got there.
Eric Podzis is treated and released that same night.
This man put himself in harm's way. He saved more than a dozen people.
As the cleanup ends and the rebuilding process slowly begins, the Medicaid fraud unit watches the rebuilding of downtown New York.
I just take pictures maybe once, twice a week, and I just follow the progress. I feel New Yorkers are starting to get the spirit back. We're tough people.
Some of those New Yorkers owe their lives to Eric Podzis.
I just tried to do the right thing, but I just know that a lot of people lost their lives that day. A lot of police officers, that were friends of mine lost their lives. And, they were all police officers of the year to me. Because they don't come back.